I think we're all. I'm sure you've heard it from all the other coaches. We're excited to get our third year underway here. Obviously, a lot going on here at St. Thomas off the ice, but on the ice, we're equally as excited with just the group that we've put together, the culture that we're continuing to build on, and those are the most important things that at the end of the day, when you're talking about the process and making sure that you're putting your best foot forward, you got to have those things in place. And so we're still growing and maturing in that, but we feel really good about where we're at.
All right. Folks have questions for Coach Blossy. We can get those to him. Tim, go ahead.
Coach, it's Tim Rapley from Flow Hockey. I was wondering if you could talk about an individual, Braden Simmons Fisher, who a couple of years ago was hoping to play Division III hockey. Played 19 games last year, but I saw him in the second half of the year becoming an impact player. Do you think his bloodlines have something to do with that? And if you could comment on the upside of Braden.
Sure. Brady's Yuri Fisher's son, so there's some bloodlines, as you say, in terms of being a hockey player. Brady's just like the rest of us right now. We're continuing to grow as we develop our program, and as he gets comfortable at the Division I level. And he's a big body who can skate and hasn't played a lot of defense in the last few years. We moved him back there, and I think he's doing a really good job. He knows his limitations and he knows what he can do. And, we talk a lot about just making sure he can be the best version of himself every day. And I think he's been doing that.
Question from Trent.
Yeah, Coach Mac Myers back in for another year. What can you sort of walk me through his development this offseason?
Well, I'm not sure. Mac was already a pretty strong individual coming in. So I think for him, it's just his confidence level and just a summer under his belt with our team, being together, taking on more of a leadership role, getting comfortable with his surroundings. All those things are going to help our program and our individuals, including Mac, feel better about what they do on the ice. And so I'm excited for Mac. He had a really great year for us last year. Anytime you could score, anywhere 15 to 20 goals in college hockey, you're doing a pretty good job. And he was certainly our guy to do that. And hopefully he can take another step for our program and for his individual growth as well.
Coach, how important was it getting the Gophers on the schedule here? You're playing them at the X. How long and what was the kind of lead up to getting those games on this year's schedule?
Yeah, it was just a matter of making it work with the two schedules. Non-conference scheduling sometimes becomes a little messy when you're trying to get league schedules and things like that together. So we were able to find a weekend, and we're so excited to play all of our non-conference opponents. St. Cloud's been great in terms of playing us every year from the start. They didn't have to do that. They chose to do that. In the past, we've played Penn State, who's come to our building here in Dota Heights. Not ideal, but I think it's important to play up-and-coming teams that are starting for the first time, and allow them to experience what it means to be at the Division I level. So we're so fortunate that we can work it out with Minnesota. Coach Motzko and I have a long history, and so it'll be an exciting weekend. We're 7 miles apart, so it should be a lot of fun at the X, and then the next night at Mariucci.
Brett?
Yeah, Coach, talk to me about the experience you got back in net. Aaron Trotter, what sort of steps do you expect from him going into his sophomore season?
Sure. I mean, again, I think I sound like a broken record when I say this, but we had a lot of freshmen last year, and Aaron was part of that freshman class. Going through things for the first time was it's not easy. You're making a transition from junior hockey. I don't care what level you're playing at junior hockey. It's still a transition when you play against men. And he really had a solid season for us and played a lot, probably more than we expected him to play his first year, but gained a lot of experience. It's always amazing to me, even after all these years of being involved in college hockey, the transformation you see from a freshman to a sophomore, and how valuable that spring is in terms of workouts and being part of your teammates and doing it together, and then the summer workouts, and then when you get them back in September, you see they're starting to become, more mature, bigger, stronger, just more confident in their ability. And so excited for Aaron, excited for the rest of our freshmen that have gone through that transition, and we'll see what happens.
Jack Hittinger.
Hey, Rick, this is Jack from CCHA. Just wanted to ask you a little bit about, obviously, the polls don't mean a whole lot, but you guys got a first place vote from Joe. I think a lot of people are thinking more highly of your program this year. Maybe, I know obviously you still got to play the games, but does it mean a lot to you that people are, I don't want to say taking your program more seriously, but you guys are being talked about as real contenders now? And it's only been 3 years since you've gone D1. That's got to feel pretty special that you guys are moving so quickly along as a program.
Yeah, and I didn't know it was Joe, but I had a feeling it was Joe. He says it to me all the time, but I'm not sure if he's playing with me or what. But again, after 2 years, the first year we had so many Division III players that I felt like we owed it to them to transition the program and the Division III guys into the league. And I've gone on record to say that was the most fun I've ever had coaching a team. Those guys were so impressive every day, no matter what the situation. They had a smile on their face. They worked hard. And last year, obviously, we recruited some of our players, and big freshman class, a little bit of a turnover with transfers, and I thought we made a really good step on the ice. Probably a bigger step off the ice in our culture and what we did, and what we're continuing to do in that regard. But I thought we made a good step forward in the way we competed and prepared and played against our opponents. And so now, starting year 3, to have that, as you said, respect, we don't take that lightly. I think it's a responsibility now for us as a program to prepare like we need to. And I told the guys that this morning. Obviously, people are not taking us lightly, and we need to be ready for that. We need to be on high alert. Our details have to be good. Our habits have to be good, both on and off the ice.
Trent.
Yeah, Coach. There's been a lot of news sort of surrounding the program that's about the momentum sort of with the arena project, maybe a TV deal. How exciting has that sort of been for you? And have you seen any sort of translation to maybe the arena or something like that? As far as finding the right guys and finding guys on the recruiting trail, like just talk to me a little about the momentum of all that.
Yeah, this has been a huge plan, a 5-year plan for us that started a few years ago, obviously, and the arena is part of that plan. Obviously, creating our brand and is part of that, our culture, what we believe in, how we want to recruit, where we're going to recruit, the type of player that we're going to recruit to our identity. All those things have come into play, and it's a lot of work, I can tell you, but it's a lot of fun. And the main reason why it's a lot of fun is the support that we have from the university, from our alumni, from our fan base, from our administration. The biggest reason that I'm here is I think you know, when you talk about creating a culture for your program, you want to make sure that you're aligned from the top to where your program's at. And I can tell you, from our president, President Vischer, the mission of our university to the mission of our athletic department, and Dr. Eston, our athletic director, to our program, we are aligned very, very closely. And that's important because now the recruits are getting the same messaging no matter where they are on campus. And to be the best version of yourself and to take a very holistic approach to our development is number one in our books. And we want our guys to understand that. And so when you talk about this plan and you talk about the excitement, everybody's on the same page in what we're doing in every sport, not just hockey. So it's an exciting time. It's a lot of fun. We had such a great tradition at Division III level. We owe those guys so much in terms of where we are today. And those guys are helping us really identify and develop our Division I identity. You can't do this alone, and you need everybody together and everybody on the same page. And that's where we're at St. Thomas. As excited as we are about all the stuff that's going on, you still got to play the games, and we're looking forward to that.
Last question from Tim Rapley.
Coach, it's Tim from Flow again. Just wondering how this process has been different, or if you could compare and contrast with Miami. Is it just hockey players you're bringing in, or is there a special brand of a St. Thomas student athlete?
Well, I couldn't tell you that secret. But no, I'm just kidding. You know, the difference, and I've said this before, the difference at Miami is that was a Division I program. That was an already established program. Everything was already in place. You just had to tweak a few things and build your own identity as a program and then recruit to that. This was totally different. You know, we're doing everything for the first time at this level. And so we're building out not just a hockey program, but an athletic department. And you're talking about admissions, you're talking about academic coordinators, you're talking about strength coaches, you're talking about arena, you're talking about recruiting, you're talking about budgets, you're talking about staff, you're talking about everything. And so to bring all those things together, that's it's been unbelievable and a lot of fun. And again, I go back to the support we're getting from Dr. Eston to our administrators, to everybody associated with the athletic program, the university, and in particular our program. So it's been totally different, but equally as rewarding, and we can't wait to get our third year started.